A young woman, full of life and dreams, leaves her small hometown in Sweden to chase a once in a lifetime adventure in America. But what starts as an exciting journey ends in one of Boston's most chilling and mysterious crimes. This is the story of Karina Holmer. Hello there, people of the internet. I'm your host, Mint. Welcome to today's case study. Tonight, we're diving into chilling, unsolved crime case of Karina Holmer. A tale of ambition, mystery, and horror. Who would want to harm this young woman, and why does her story remain a haunting enigma in the Boston's darkest crimes? So, to understand that, we have to go a little bit back. Karina was born in a small, quiet town in Sweden. Known for its picturesque landscape and tight-knit community, it was a far cry from bustling streets of Boston where her story would tragically end. Karina grew up in a loving family and was described as adventurous and vibrant young woman who had her friends and family often speak about her in a positive outlook and her desire to explore the world beyond the borders of her hometown. Now, Karina had a love for nature, which wasn't surprising given the beauty of her surroundings in rural Sweden. In her late teens, Karina, like many young people, felt the itch to experience life beyond her small town. She longed for something bigger. She wanted to see the world, meet new people, and immerse herself in different cultures. Her dream was not just about traveling, it was about growing as a person and experiencing life to its fullest. Her opportunity came unexpectedly. Karina won about $1,500 in Swedish lottery, a modest sum but enough to fund her dreams. So she decided to use this money to become an au pair, a popular option for young Europeans to see the world abroad. You see, an au pair is a young person, usually between the ages of 18 and 30, who travels to a foreign country to live with a host family and provide childcare in exchange for a room, board, and a small amount of money. The terms come from French and translates to on par or equal to, reflecting the idea that au pair becomes a part of the family rather than a traditional employee. Now, some of the key features of an au pairs are childcare, cultural exchange, accommodation, working hours and pay, and study opportunities. Being an au pair is a popular choice for young people looking to travel, improve language skills, and gain life experiences. It's also cost-effective childcare solution for families who want a live-in caregiver. So, in 1996, Karina applied to an au pair program and was matched with a wealthy family in Massachusetts, a suburban town just outside Boston. The family had two young children, and Karina's responsibilities, including taking care of them, was helping with household tasks and immersing herself in their day to day lives. Now, at first, it seemed like a perfect arrangement. Karina had her own room, she enjoyed spending time with the children, and she often wrote letters to her friends in Sweden describing her experiences. She loved the novelty of American life, from the sprawling malls to the vibrant culture of Boston. But despite seemingly the idyllic setup, some of Karina's letters hinted that her experience wasn't perfect as it appeared. She reportedly mentioned feeling uneasy and even suggested that something was amiss, though the details remain vague. Now, one rumor suggested that Karina may have had conflicts with her host family. Though this was never sustained, some have speculated that she had stumbled upon something troubling in her work environment. But these claims have never been proven. Now, even with these potential challenges, Karina didn't let anything dampen with her adventurous spirit. She spent her weekends exploring Boston's vibrant nightlife, meeting new people and enjoying her youth. She was outgoing, friendly, and full of charisma, which naturally drew people to her. Karina had a knack for making friends easily, whether through her au pair network at local cafes or during her nights out in Boston. Her adventurous nature often led people to seek out new people. She wasn't just someone who participated in life, she was someone who left an impression. Her optimism and zest for life were contagious, and her laughter could fill a room. Karina wasn't content with just one adventure. She had big dreams for future. Though what those dreams specifically entitled remains uncertain, perhaps she wanted to stay longer in the US or travel to other parts of the world. But what's clear is that Karina was in a phase of self discovery, exploring not just a new country but her own potential and desire. Although there were whispers among her friends that she had hinted at struggles or unease, but Karina, true to her spirited nature, didn't let these challenges define her outward demeanor. She seemed determined to live in the moment, soaking up joys of her youth and the freedom that came with it. Karina and her friends decided to head to Zanzibar, a popular nightclub located in Boston. Known for its lively atmosphere, upbeat music, and a crowd of young professions and students, Zanzibar was one of Karina's favorite spots. She had been there multiple times before, and the club offered her a place to dance, meet new people, and experience the excitement of city life. That night, Karina wore a striking silver top and black pants, an outfit that caught attention. Friends later recalled her being in a good spirit as they prepared for their night out. She was smiling, laughing, and seemed eager to enjoy the evening. The group arrived at the bar sometime in the evening, blending into the bustling crowd of the club goers. Inside, Karina danced and mingled with other partygoers, her silver top shimmering under the club's dim, colorful lights. She reportedly had a few drinks, enough to feel relaxed and have fun. Witnesses described her as being the life of the party. She loved to dance and wasn't afraid to talk to strangers. She was seen chatting with a few men, though none of these interactions seemed unusual or alarming at the time. As the night progressed, Karina became noticeably intoxicated. Some accounts suggest that she may have overestimated her ability to handle alcohol. As her behavior became more erratic by the early hours of the morning, the fun of the evening started to take a turn. Around 3 a.m., the bar began to close and the partygoers spilled out into the street. This was the last confirmed sighting of Karina. Witnesses recall her standing outside the club, appearing disoriented and possibly looking for someone or something. Unlike her usual night outs, Karina did not return home that evening. Her absence went unnoticed at first, as it was not common for her to stay with her friends after a night out. On the afternoon of June 24, a pair of hikers were walking through the Blue Hills Reservation, a large conservation area in Milton, Massachusetts, about 15 miles south of Boston. As they navigated a remote part of the forest, they stumbled upon a plastic bag. Curious, they approached and opened the bag, and inside this bag was a human torso. The scene was so horrifying, authorities were immediately called, and upon investigation, more body parts were found nearby, all maliciously dismembered and scattered across the wooded area. Further examination revealed that the remains belonged to Karina Holmer. Her head, hands, and feet had been separated from her body, and there was no indication of decomposition or any other physical damage beside the dismemberment, suggesting that she had likely been killed elsewhere and transported to the woods. The methodical nature of the dismemberment suggested that the killer had some sort of knowledge of anatomy or surgical precision. Karina was last seen alive at around 3 a.m., and yet by the following afternoon, her body parts were discovered in the wooded areas about 15 miles south of Boston. These missing hours are critical to understanding what transpired in that time frame. Now, I quickly want to talk about some of the speculations and theories about this. Some believe that Karina may have been approached by someone she didn't know, leading to an unfortunate and violent situation. Her intoxicated state may have made her vulnerable, leaving unable to defend herself, while others speculate that Karina may have been lured away from the club with a false promise or manipulated into a situation where she was taken advantage of. The methodical nature of dismemberment suggests the involvement of someone familiar with anatomy or precise surgical methods, adding to the suspicion of more calculated attack. There are also theories that Karina may have gotten into an argument or a conflict with someone earlier that evening, which escalated after leaving the bar. Given the lack of personal items with her remains, it suggested an effort to conceal her identity, indicating a more targeted approach. Now, the investigators have struggled with the idea of whether Karina willingly left the bar with someone or if she was pressured. The absence of security footage or reliable eyewitnesses make it difficult to piece together what exactly happened. Some believe Karina could have been abducted, especially given the distance between the club and where her body was found, suggesting she was transported by someone familiar with the area. While on the other hand, some wonder if Karina left voluntarily with someone she trusted and something went horribly wrong in the following hours. The complete lack of traceable evidence after she left the club points to deliberate attempt to cover up what happened. In the immediate aftermath of her disappearance, a massive search effort was launched. Law enforcement combed through Boston's streets using all available resources to track her whereabouts. Despite the attention, no concrete leads surfaced for days until her remains were found in the forest. Forensic evidence collected, but the dismemberment made it extremely difficult to determine exactly how Karina was killed. DNA, fingerprints, and other forms of traditional identifications were not available for a majority of her remains, further complicating the investigation. The case of Karina Holmer is filled with unanswered questions that have puzzled investigators, journalists, and public for nearly 3 decades. Despite extensive efforts to piece together what happened that evening, these unanswered questions continue to haunt her loved ones and the community, leaving an unsettling void of uncertainty. For those who remember Karina, she represented more than just a victim. She represents hope, resilience, and a pursuit of justice that continues long after her tragic end. Her legacy is one that will endure, reminding us all to stand together in face of adversity and never stop seeking the truth. May her memory be a source of strength and inspiration for generations to come. And with that being said, I've been your host, Mint. Take care of yourselves and your loved ones, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.